Welcome into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast each and every Wednesday, 3 o'clock Pacific time. First handicapper up, my buddy here in Las Vegas, Skee Prophet on Twitter, at Skee Prophet. Skee, welcome in. How you feeling?
I'm doing well, Drew. I had a winner on Monday, so hopefully we can get some more winners going for this card. And I think, honestly, I don't have the record, but I think best bets have been pretty good. So I want to try to keep that going.
Absolutely, man. Skee's been killing it, and we'll get a best bet for him at the end, guys. This is the top of the card. We'll bring in Tony Mejia at the 3:30 mark to finish off the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast. But we are going top of the card on Sunday, 451, 452, Detroit, Chicago, down to 463, 464, New Orleans, Atlanta, in that NFC South rivalry to end this section. Then we'll go to part two. But starting off at the top of the card here, Skee, we got Detroit at Chicago. We're seeing the Bears -3 with juice at most sports books in Soldier Field. So the home favorites here, 44.5 being the total. Detroit, Chicago. What are you thinking here, Skee?
Honestly, first thing I think is I think the Bears should get a little better. But the more I look at the game, I'm just like, Ralph tweeted out something today. Don't lay points with losing teams. So just don't lay with losers. And that's what the Bears are to me right now. And I'll see if Galladay's back or who's back on the Lions side, but I lean towards taking the points with the Lions. Khalil Mack, he hasn't really been getting to quarterbacks lately. Offense has been terrible. And just that combined with what I saw, I was thinking about this game, and I saw Ralph tweet that out, just how poorly the farther and farther you are away from 500, the worse it is pretty much against the spread when you're laying points. So I just don't want to do it. I'll be back in the Lions if I play this game.
Okay, looking for the Lions +3. You can get that pretty much even money across the board right now. And we got Cincinnati, Miami up next. Guys, if you're watching live, either on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, it's simulcast live, the Every Game on the Board podcast, and on Twitter via Periscope. Welcome in Bonds 252 and Brandon in St. Louis, I believe. He's looking. Lions have a new coach and a new outlook on life. He's liking the Lions here, so kind of.
And you know what? Usually when they fire the coaches, it's like the players show up because they want to show it's not them. So I like that angle too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, with a bad team, Skee, it's kind of like you got to fire the coach because you can't fire the whole team. And if the team's still terrible at the end, now watch out for those contracts for any free agents in the next year, because that's not going to bode well in the offseason, pretty much across all professional sports. So that is an angle in that one going forward with the Lions. We got 453, 454, 1 o'clock Eastern kick here as we're loaded up on the 1 o'clocks like normal in NFL action on Sunday. We got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Miami Dolphins here, Skee. We got the Dolphins laying doubles. This is kind of rarefied air here. -11 in the hook in Hard Rock Stadium, 42 being the total in Miami Gardens on Sunday, Skee.
And my first thought on this one is it's a really low total. It's just how much do you trust the Bengals to score? Dolphins will play defense when they want to. They're really good on defense on third down. So if the Bengals can't keep a drive going, it's tough to see them scoring points. So, I know it's a high spread, but I probably would just lean towards taking the Dolphins. No Burrow, no Bengals for me. Bengals have been really bad on third down on offense, and combine that with how good the Dolphins have been on third down on defense. It's tough for me to back the over, so I would just lean towards the Dolphins on this one.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's going to have a tough time scoring here, Skee. Brian Flores is a head coach. I think he's doing a great job, but definitely on the defensive side of things. He's proved it in New England. He can coach up defense. Miami's defense in South Florida has been really good. I get a question for you in terms of quarterback. Does it change your kind of power rating, how you would look to bet on the Dolphins if Tua or Fitzpatrick was the starting quarterback, or do you rate them out about the same at this stage in their career?
For totals?
Well, for both total and side.
Honestly, I think for side, they both kind of get the job done. But for totals, well, I'll put it this way. I have to use Devontae Parker in my fantasy this week, and I would much rather have Fitzpatrick out behind there throwing the ball, because that's what's going to give me the points, and that's what's going to light the scoreboard up for the Dolphins, in my opinion. Tua, he's good too. He's just a little more conservative, so I think the offense will be a lot better if it's Fitz.
That's true. Okay, so a little bit more, throw the ball down the field. Yes, he might make more mistakes, but light up the scoreboard. I like that term that you use with Fitzpatrick a little more. I do agree with that. It's almost like Fitzpatrick's a little bit more of the over if you're looking to bet the total over, whereas Tua might be a lean towards the under. But sidewise, I think, they're both good. Tua, obviously, a little bit better in terms of future prospects. But at this stage, I don't know that I would change my power rating really all that much with the Miami Dolphins, depending who's playing quarterback. But we got 4-5-5, 4-5-6 up next. Indianapolis at Houston, 51 being the total. Colts -3 and a hook. So it's pretty much, the new term out there, Skee, is -3.25 here, because you can kind of find both numbers depending where you're shopping. And that's the Colts as the road favorites here, Skee.
3.25. I haven't heard it yet. Maybe I've been out of the loop, but this is, division unders, they're still, it was a big sample size, so it's still pretty up there. They didn't really, I think it was about 50-50 this past week, but this is another one of them. And Deshaun Watson won't have Fuller out there to throw to. I think they'll suffer because that's a lot of points. Fuller does a lot week to week for them. That's his main guy. And the Colts defense, I think, is still pretty solid, good enough to hold them down. And I think they don't mind playing a conservative game. The Texans' run defense is trash, and you saw if the coach, I always say his name wrong, so I just don't say it at all. But he's a good coach for the Colts. If he sees, like, who were they playing? I think they were playing Green Bay, and they just ran it down their throat. So I think they'll do the same thing here. I would pick the Colts if I'm betting the side, and I look towards the under.
Okay, looking towards the Colts and the under. I don't know, Skee. I kind of like Houston, a little bit trajectory here. They've got the better quarterback and catching points at home. So I'm up against you a little bit in that one. I just like, Deshaun Watson and company there. But it really hasn't been a good season for Houston. And I think Indianapolis is a little bit overrated just with their schedule. I know you brought up the Packers game, but outside of that, I don't know how many quality wins they've really racked up. However, their defense is good. So interesting handicap there, Indianapolis versus Houston. We got next game up here, 4-5-7, 4-5-8, Jacksonville at Minnesota. We're seeing the Vikings -10 in the hook, depending where you're shopping, 52.5 being the total, Skee.
Yeah, and this one has the total has risen. I think it was less than 50 maybe, or maybe it was 51. But you said 52.5 now?
That's what I'm seeing right now, 52.5, pretty much across the board, yeah.
Well, I agree with the movement, and I agree with Brandon here on the screen as well in that last game, but I agree with the movement towards the over. Both are really bad defenses. We saw the Vikings. I talked about the Vikings, and I think it was Carolina last week, 2 bad defenses. This is, again, the same thing. The only problem here with the total is how much do you trust Jacksonville to score? I definitely trust the Vikings to score. They can score. I think Dalvin Cook was okay, and as far as injury-wise. And Jacksonville, they're allowing 4.5 yards per carry. They've allowed 14 rushing touchdowns this year, and that's what the Vikings want to do. They want to run the ball. So I think the Vikings don't have a problem scoring in this game. And I want to get to the over, but I'm not sure that I will. I do think the only way I would play it would be over, just because I'm not trusting both bad defenses to shut anybody down.
Okay.
And another thing, though, I say I lean with the Vikings, but it's another team who's not even 500 laying points. It's just the Jacksonville Jaguars are just a lot worse, in my opinion.
Good stuff, Skee. Follow him on Twitter at Skee Profit. NFL totals in 2020 is 58.3%. He's also got some EuroLeague basketball up, 12-7 EuroLeague run. His NBA before the bubble, guys, last season was up near 57% pre-bubble here. 58% actually, 86-63 in the NBA. And I say pre-bubble just because, when they went into the bubble, I think that there was a little bit of change. So it brought down the percentage just a bit. But 58% pre-bubble last year in the NBA. Skee really knows the NBA betting markets, also WNBA as well. And of course, the NFL, as he's talking right now, giving out what free plays here on the WagerTalk.com. Skee, you got some teams I've never heard of, and I don't even want to begin to pronounce here. So I'm guessing it's not American sports.
No, definitely EuroLeague. Those are 2 EuroLeague plays I think I have up for tomorrow. You guys can check them out. I did beat a line on one of them. I didn't check it today, but beat it by about 2 points. So hopefully we have 2 cashers there.
And it's Euro, like I'm seeing Tel Aviv. It's all the same league?
Yeah.
Or these different countries have different leagues?
They play in separate leagues, like all throughout the week. They play in their own leagues, and then they play the big competition, which is the Euro League. That's the one, in my opinion, I think that they care about the most. So when they play the Euro League games, you'll get the best effort from both teams.
Okay, cool. And welcome in, guys, to the chat box. Kevin, Carl, tuning in from England. So got the other side of the pond in here. Anybody watching live, both on Twitter and YouTube, feel free to chime in via Periscope or the live chat box on YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from. Anywhere cool. And just in case you're wondering, anywhere you're watching is cool to us. We got 461-462, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific kick here. Skee, our Las Vegas Raiders at the New York Football Jets, 47 being the total. The Raiders, man, this is an interesting handicap, Skee. Last Sunday, they did not look good. But now they're facing the New York Jets. Was that just a bad game, and then they're going to rebound here? Or is this something kind of telling to the future of the Las Vegas Raiders season? That seems to not yet be told. We got -7.5, -8, though, being the spread. The road favorites here on the East Coast, 47 the total in New York, Skee.
I think, honestly, I think we're talking about this game later, but I think we have to give the Falcons a little bit of credit. They've looked pretty good since they've gotten a new coach. And I just have to give them credit. That's what I'll say about that last game for the Raiders. And this one, you'll probably hear me flip-flop a little bit back and forth, but I'll have an opinion at the end. Who's going to bounce back in this game? Is it going to be Derek Carr or is it going to be Sam Darnold? And I already told you last week, or I'm not sure if I said it here. I think I did, but I'm not a big fan of Sam. I think he's terrible. I don't think he's a good quarterback. So I don't really want to bet on him to bounce back. If I had to pick one of them, it would be Derek Carr. But both pass defenses are just terrible. So I could see both guys having maybe a good day. I could see points being scored in this game. And another thing is, I just don't personally think the Raiders are good enough to lay a touchdown with. The only way, I'd have to take the Jets plus the points. Same way I talked about the Chargers. The Raiders are better than the Chargers, and I took the Jets in that game. I just see the same thing. I don't think the Raiders should be laying over a touchdown here versus anybody.
Yeah, so is it enough for you to be on the underdog, Skee?
Yeah, I'm liking the Jets. If I was playing this game, it would not be the over. It would be taking the Jets. I'm liking it. I haven't made any bets. So usually I have a couple of bets already placed, like on Monday is when I usually like to make the bets. But this week it's been a little tricky with all the COVID stuff. So I kind of took a little time. But the Jets are on my radar for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm the same way, man. In normal years, I like to get my bets down really at the open, college football on the Sunday open, NFL earlier in the week. But this year, I just been holding off just because games get canceled, your money's tied up, and you kind of want to know what you're getting into before you bet it. Like if you had the Denver Broncos this past week, I think you really got screwed as a sports bettor because the whole, quarterback room's out. They got to bring up Hinton, who really didn't even play quarterback in college, and he's back there taking snaps in the NFL. I don't know, man. I really wish I could go back in time and hammer the Saints because that's what I wanted to do. But, of course, I didn't. So speaking like a true sports bettor here, Skee, just what ifs all the time as I digress. Back to the Saints, though. 463-464. New Orleans at Atlanta. This is the NFC South rivalry here. Living in Atlanta for 8 years, Skee. These two teams do not like each other. We're seeing 2 in the hook or -3, depending where you're shopping. That's the Saints laying in the ATL Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
And Drew Brees still is not back yet. I know we saw the Saints kind of put up some points in the first game. I'm not sure that we see so many points in this game. Usually when these teams play, it's a lower scoring affair. It went under 5 of their last 6. Falcons, like I said, they got a new coach. They've been playing better, and a lot of it has been on the defensive end. They went under 4 of their last 6 games. They're 4-2 straight up their last 6 games. This is another one of those division unders. Saints, they have a great defense. I don't know if you want to say, I'm not going to call who's the best defense or whatever in the league, but they're definitely the top defense. And without Drew Brees back there, I think defense will have to win the game for them. I like the under in this game. I haven't bet it yet, but that's the way I'm looking. And if I'm picking a side, it'll be taking points with the home dog. They've been playing really well. I like Matt Ryan versus whoever the Saints put at quarterback, and Falcons defense maybe can step it up for another game.
Yeah, and talk about change. I mean, it's a team that changed their head coach. They've been playing well, like you talked about, Skee. And if you're liking the under, guys, looks like as high as 46, and you still can find threes out there with the home dog, Atlanta Falcons, the Dirty Birds there. We got Skee Profit, WagerTalk.com. Guys, check him out. Obviously knows his stuff in the NFL, and he's got free plays up in EuroLeague basketball. He's on an NFL totals run of 58% right now, 12-7 EuroLeague run. NBA, WNBA right around the corner. So make sure to remember the 6-month all access special we got here, Cyber Week special. For less than $100 a month, you can get all of Skee Profit's plays for the next 6 months. All access pass. You don't have to buy any plays, no extra money later. It's all there for less than $100 a month on his page, WagerTalk.com. So huge shout out to the chat box as well. We got Out Racing, Carl, Kevin McFarland, all in here. We got Out Racing asking about what we think about Rams Cardinals. Actually, no need to ask. We're going to hit every game on the board. Tony Mejia coming in just 6 minutes here at 3:30 Pacific time to hit the NFL every game on the board, second half here. But Skee, did you have a best bet here? Did you want to go on record with that?
You know, did we have one more game? I thought we had one more game.
Okay, yeah, we can hit one more game. We got Cleveland, Tennessee.
I'm not sure. Okay, we can talk about that one. I thought it was Washington and Steelers, but it's whatever. Or we can just give it
Washington, Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah, well, they moved that game to Monday. Right?
Oh, okay.
But you're right. The rotation number, I mean, this is 2020, Skee. They're moving all around. If you want to hit Washington, Pittsburgh, let's hit it, man. We got 44 being the total. Looks like the Steelers -9 home favorites. And of course, with the Steelers actually playing right now in the fourth quarter, I believe 5 minutes left, up 19-7 on Baltimore. Now that score might be a little bit delayed. So that's when we're talking about this, but there is a limited marketplace out there. So we got 44 being the total, Steelers -9 against the Redskins, Skee.
Yes. Washington's defensive line, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good against the pass. So have the Steelers. And it's just a big inconvenience for the Steelers to have to play right now and then play 3 days after. I know they don't have to travel. They get to stay at home, but you think they're really going to want to play that game? I don't. They're just going to want to get in, get a win, and move on. I think 9 points is too many. I would grab the 9 points, and I look towards an under. I don't think a lot of points are scored in this game.
I like where your head's at. Yeah, it would be underdog and under for me in that. You're right, man. Playing a Wednesday game, this is almost unprecedented, uncharted waters for NFL teams coming back. The NFL did do them a favor, I guess, moving it to Monday night, but still really short turnaround here. I'm with you, man. Look under. It looks like 44 right now, and you can get as many as 9 points with the Washington football team, not their old name. Skee, anything? Was that your best bet here, or did you want to throw out another one?
It wasn't. I'll go with something else. And I'll look towards. I'll ask you really quick. What's the number on the Jets game? What are the Jets right now? Plus what?
47 being the total, and you can get it as high as 9. That's offshore, and that's pretty much a teaser protector here. The market price is pretty much 8. Las Vegas -8.
As the best bet right now, that is the one I feel the most confident with, I think, out of the ones we talked about. It'll be the Jets plus the 8 points. I don't think the Raiders should be laying 8 points versus anybody.
New York Jets +8. Always tough to bet the Jets at this point, but heck, Skee knows his stuff, and getting a lot of points against the Raiders that did look awful just this past week. So Skee, good stuff as always, man. Guys, if you aren't following him on Twitter, you should. At Skee Profit gives out a lot of good free content with a lot of people following him. Check out his work, WagerTalk.com. We got the Cyber Week special, less than $100 a month. You can get Skee Profit's all access pass, every sport, every play, less than $100 a month for the next 6 months. Check that out at WagerTalk.com. So Skee, anything else you want to throw out before we shut this down?
No, I think we did a good job. I think it's been a nice show. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by, and look forward to doing it again.
Absolutely. He'll be back next Wednesday, guys. So come back and check us out. We got Tony Mejia coming in just 3 minutes right here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. Skee, best of luck to you out there. Appreciate you joining us, guys. Best of luck with your bets. Please smash the like button on your way out if you're liking the content. All right, guys.